everyone, welcome back to The Know. I'm Adam Kovic.
And I'm Bruce. Oh, are we clapping now?
Yeah!
All right, it's back to The Know. Let's do this shit.
The Know is filmed before a live studio audience.
It's Joel.
It's just Joel. Today on the show, we're asking the question, is EA the devil?
Absolutely, yes. They are the worst
There we
people
go.
in the world. Actually, you only thought we were out of the dark ages. Not too long ago, bubonic plague raged across the land, and PC gamers had to deal with the likes of Secure ROM just to play a fucking game they already paid for.
Yes.
Remember that, Lawrence?
Oh, it was terrible.
Those were
I had to go
bad
to
days.
Fry's and buy a DVD drive just to play Prince of Persia or something.
It seemed like those days were behind us, but think again.
Yeah, EA is going retro and bringing that shit back.
Well, maybe.
So-
Actually, not at all.
No.
Hold on, we'll get to that in a second, but it looks like EA might be causing problems.
It's part of our job to look at the internet landscape and calm you the fuck down. So, Hilbert Hedgeroom.
Nope. Try it again.
Nick Headroom.
Nope. Hashdorn? Or
Who's the guy from Star Trek?
Hagrid.
Worf.
Gunray.
He's Newt Gunray. So, Hilbert Hedgeorn.
Hagedorn?
Lord of the Rings character. So anyway, over at Guru 3D discovered that there's an issue that's sending to the internet into a panic.
According to the story, Hagedorn, I guess, used Hardline to test multiple video cards.
Yeah, Guru 3D is a hardware analysis website, just in case you didn't know that.
Yeah.
They benchmark games by running on multiple hardware setups, so changing hardware over and over to test a game is really nothing new for them.
Absolutely. By the 8th video card, EA locked down Hagedorn's account with the following message, quote, "Too many computers have accessed this account's version of Battlefield Hardline Digital Deluxe recently. Please try again later," end quote.
AKA, go fuck yourself.
Uh-oh.
So unsurprisingly, this incident has the internet running for their pitchforks, and look, we get why.
Okay.
PC gaming was absolute shit for years, right, Lawrence?
Around like 4 or 5 years ago, basically in the 360 PS3 era, PC gaming was awful. Nobody was making games for PC, and if they did, they loaded it with so much DRM because they assumed everybody was stealing the game, and that's why it wasn't selling.
Yeah.
It just made the experience really awful. You had
Yeah.
to jump through so many hoops just to get the game to run, and then if your internet would cut out, you'd get booted out or some shit like that. It's terrible. Just terrible.
Well, we don't think this situation warrants a good old-fashioned internet riot, though, and here's why.
The system works like this.
Yeah.
Origin creates a hash ID of your hardware configuration and uses that to authenticate your computer when playing games.
Yeah, if that hash changes too often in too short of a time, EA will kind of bonk you out of your game.
Right. Hagedorn and others on the internet are calling this form DRM a privacy breach on many levels.
It's absolutely not.
No.
If you're using Origin, you've actually already agreed to it.
But I didn't read it.
Well, that's your fault. From Section C of the Origin End-User License Agreement, quote, "You acknowledge and agree that the application may use information regarding your computer, hardware, and operating system to create an anonymous machine identifier for purposes of validating your license rights and updating the application. Information accessed for this purpose is not stored in retrievable form."
And this isn't really new either.
Not
The
at all.
internet already frothed at the mouth with this particular issue 3 years ago. Tell us about that, Lawrence.
Yeah, it was actually in October 2011. That particular clause in Origin's user and license agreement made the rounds on the internet. Quoth the internet, spyware. No, that's a terrible quote.
Are you doing Edgar Allan Poe back there?
Not really, no.
Just read the news!
At the time, EA promised everyone they weren't scanning your browser history for all those hot grandpa action websites that you visit. Please learn about incognito mode for the sake of everyone around you and your browser's autocomplete.
Gross.
This issue faded with time because, surprise, surprise, nothing really happened.
Yep.
And despite the short attention span of the internet, that is the internet, there's another angle to this hardware ID story.
Yeah.
This isn't actually an anti-piracy measure, it's an anti-cheating measure.
Yeah, so here's the scenario. Say you have a fucking cheater playing in your game. I know you asshole, nobody gets a headshot like that! I see those headshots! EA could ban them by account or by IP, but cheaters can just make new accounts or easily spoof IPs to continue playing and cheating.
Exactly. So by banning the hardware ID, it's slightly more effective.
Yeah.
Theoretically, a hardware ID ban prevents a cheater from playing until they physically change the makeup of their computer, which is much more costly than just buying another copy of the game, in theory.
Right, you can actually spoof a new hardware ID. We're not saying the system is perfect, but it's a lot harder to spoof a new hardware ID than it is to spoof an IP.
EA is aware that people are going to steal or cheat in their games. They're just trying to make it hard. That
Exactly.
seems to be the whole point. And believe it or not, EA is implementing measures like this to try and make your game more fun to play. It's weird.
Yeah, in fact, once upon a time, gamers were asking for this. Here's a post from the Need for Speed World forums from 2011. Quote, "Your bans aren't sticking. Take it to the next level and ban by hardware ID. Yes, they can still come back, but it is quite a bit harder to do so. DICE did this for Battlefield 2 hackers, so why not Need for Speed World? Is the hacking not rampant enough? Why are you not getting serious about the hacks?"
P.S. Please hire Aaron Paul to make a movie about you.
And they did.
And they did.
So yeah, I guess EA was listening to you, but now people don't want them listening to them. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah. Lawrence, what kind of situation is this?
It's unintended consequences, really. EA was trying to do the right thing, and then years later, it happened to affect this one guy who had a carousel of video cards rotating in and out of his computer. Let's be honest. How many of you, specifically you, are going to have 8 different video cards in your PC on a daily basis? This is the idea. They created a system that's going to work for almost everyone, and there's always an edge case. But in this situation, it works for almost everyone.
We feel for Hilbert, right? As Hilbert is? It's extremely frustrating to not be able to play the game you were meant to play.
Right, but in this case, you are the exception, not the rule.
Absolutely.
The average hardline player won't even know that this authentication is even there, which is kind of the point, right? So when you really break it down, DRM is like a reliable car. We only complain when we notice the problems.
Yep.
Or then we complain when it does work. I think we just like to complain.
Well, people on the internet really love to complain. I feel strange because EA at one point was trying to help. They're like, oh, well, you know what, we'll ban hardware IDs. People are asking for that.
Yeah.
And then when they ban hardware IDs, Hilbert gets all upset. So, I mean, it's obviously they can't win. They are one of the largest companies in the world and one of the most hated. So it makes sense that a lot of people, are looking for reasons to not like EA.
Just keep in mind that there are always 2 sides to every story, and that's our job here, is to educate you here on The Know. So be sure to subscribe for more stories like this one that you just watched.
Lawrence, is that how they stay in the know?
That is how they stay in the know. They're going to be real mad, though. I mean, apparently the point of the internet is to tell you what you want to hear and tell you that you're right. Well, sorry. No! We do some research here.
What do you want me to tell you, Lawrence?
I don't know. I'm feeling pretty good. I don't need much right now.
You're looking great.
Thanks.
Joel farted. We gotta go.
Vinegary.
All right, we're done.